Welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a really fascinating piece of source material today called the Wolfpack Strategy, Principles of Collective Competitive Advantage.
Yeah, it's a fantastic read.
It really is. And our mission for this deep dive is to basically unpack how the hunting habits of wolves actually provide a masterclass in outsmarting the competition. Whether you're scaling a startup or navigating your own career.
Right out of the gate, the research establishes a principle that, it challenges a lot of our traditional corporate thinking.
Definitely.
Because both in nature and in business, survival rarely belongs to the strongest or the fastest individual. It really belongs to the most coordinated.
Which completely flips that whole lone wolf myth right on its head.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, looking at the mechanics of a hunt in the text, it's wild that a wolf pack routinely takes down massive prey. I mean, we're talking elk or bison here.
Oh, yeah.
They aren't the biggest predators out there, so how exactly do they pull that off without just getting crushed by an animal 5 times their size?
Well, they use a highly decentralized system of coordinated roles. It's not a chaotic swarm where everyone just attacks at once.
Right.
You have specific wolves pushing the herd to create panic. Others are flanking the sides to steer, and some are explicitly positioning themselves miles ahead to block escape routes.
And they're doing all of this without a boss telling them what to do.
Exactly. They communicate dynamically through body language and positioning. No central dictator barking orders. If we map this to a modern business context for you listening, think of highly effective, agile team structures.
Yeah, you don't need a CEO micromanaging every single step of a product launch.
No, not if marketing, operations, and engineering already know their specific flanking maneuvers and just trust the broader strategy.
That completely redefines the idea of the alpha. We always hear about the alpha wolf being this aggressive, dominating figure who just forces everyone into submission. But the text paints a totally different picture.
It's probably the biggest misconception out there, honestly. In reality, an alpha's true value isn't dictatorial authority. It's about maintaining social cohesion.
Wow.
Yeah, they manage internal conflicts, they guide the overall pacing of the pack, and crucially, they ensure resources are distributed fairly after a hunt so the whole pack stays healthy.
So for a business leader, the takeaway is pretty stark. Your job isn't to be the loudest person in the room just driving everyone into the ground.
No, your job is to resolve friction. You ensure your specialized teams are aligned and resourced enough to actually execute their roles.
There is a great comparison in the research between wolves and cheetahs that really drove this home for me. I always pictured wolves just sprinting after prey, but they operate entirely differently than a cheetah. What is the strategic distinction there?
Okay, so a cheetah relies entirely on a massive, short-lived burst of speed. If it doesn't catch the gazelle in 30 seconds, the hunt is over because the cheetah is just completely exhausted.
Right, it's a sprint.
Exactly. Wolves, on the other hand, use extreme patience and endurance. They will observe a herd for hours, just looking for vulnerabilities, and then apply sustained pressure.
They literally exhaust their prey over dozens of miles.
Yes, and in business strategy, we see this when nimble startups take on legacy tech giants. They don't try to outspend or out-innovate the giant in one massive, expensive marketing blitz.
Because they just run out of cash.
Exactly. They apply consistent, coordinated pressure in specific areas over time, eventually outlasting the bigger players' slow, clunky response times.
And they're highly specific about where they apply that pressure, too. To conserve energy, wolves isolate the weaker, older, or separated members of the herd. They never just charge head-on at the strongest bison in the center.
Which answers a critical question for you as you look at your own competitive landscape. Why drain your limited resources fighting dominant incumbents in their strongest markets? Instead of attacking the biggest players head-on, look for the underserved customers. Find the overlooked niches. You isolate a market segment the big player is ignoring and dominate it.
And the text points out that even highly visible public figures who we tend to think of as solo talents, they actually operate this way too.
Oh, absolutely. Behind the scenes, they rely on massive, coordinated ecosystems of producers, managers, and strategists working together to capture very specific cultural niches.
Okay, so pulling this all together, true competitive advantage isn't about being the biggest, the fastest, or having the most solo talent. It is about continuous alignment, timing, decentralized communication, and endurance.
Beautifully said.
You succeed not by running alone, but by running with the pack.
And that brings up a really provocative thought drawn straight from the future research directions in our source material.
Oh yeah, lay it on us.
If studying biological systems like wolf packs can completely redefine how we design decentralized organizations and approach long-term strategy, what other hidden survival tactics in nature might hold the secret blueprint for our future success?
That is such a good question.
Just think about ant colonies or mycelium networks. Nature has been beta testing these organizational structures for millions of years.